Hello everyone and welcome to this video. This is going to be a vinyl update video today. I think I've got about 10 records here to show various recent finds. First few are just going to be used record store finds. Then I've got some new stuff like what I've purchased online, and then some stuff what I got from Record Store Day 2016 last Saturday. So I'm a little bit late in showing that, but I do have a good reason for it, which I'll get into a little bit later. But firstly, I've got a music related book. What I don't think I've shown on my channel before. I'm pretty certain that I didn't show this in the last update. Is this one here? It's called Treasures of the Who. Now I've got a very similar book on Pink Floyd up there. You can just sort of see the spider fit up there, and it's basically just a short little book. I mean, there's not very many pages in it, but what you do get is a lot of really cool is a lot of cool sort of pop out memorabilia. So there, I'll just show a couple of these wee things here. So you get just little random bits and pieces there, sort of this concert advertisements and various stuff. So it's really cool, and the book was quite informative as well. It's maybe not the best actual book, but all these wee little pop out bits and pieces really do make this book great. So this was a pretty cool find for Now onto the used record store finds. Now the first four here were ones that I left over from my last vinyl update, because if I'd shown them in that video, then it would have been really stupid length, getting on for about 45 minutes, an hour maybe. But I've got four here for a shop that I was in in Bolton called X Records. First one here is a Paul McCartney 12-inch to song This One. Never seen this before. This isn't that rare. This was about £3, which was pretty good. So on here you get the songs This One and The First Stone, which are both on the 7-inch. But then on the B-side you get I Wanna Cry and I'm in Love Again, and both I believe taken from the Russian album sessions. So yeah, this is pretty nice on 12-inch. Not something you see every day. It's not one of its most common ones. And now is a Bob Dylan album. Now I wouldn't normally go for these ones here, but this was quite cheap, and I thought that I was getting a pretty good deal. It is the album Blonde on Blonde here. The only other Dylan album I have is his greatest hits, so his early greatest hits on vinyl. So this is my first sort of proper studio album, and this was £7. So this isn't in the greatest shape ever, and it is a 70s reissue, but I thought for £7 this was a double album, and I thought that was pretty good here. So on the sort of late 70s CBS label, and it isn't in the greatest shape either. I mean, maybe looking back, I could have maybe passed this one up and I looked a slightly better copy if I really wanted the album. But there was a time but it was just in the heat of the moment, I thought, why not get it? Need more Bob Dylan in my collection, so that's what I'm doing. I've played a bit of this album, and I liked some of it. We've got a couple of pretty great songs in it, but overall, I sort of I don't know, it might grow on me, this album. So I'd like to know what actual Dylan fans think of this. If I think it's one of his best albums, or maybe one of his so-so ones. But of what I've heard, this is a pretty good album. Up is another classic album what was missing from my collection, but I'm now glad to have got a copy of it, is Blondie here and Parallel Lines. Now I really like a lot of the late 70s new wave stuff, and this is a classic album. We've got a lot of great hits on here. One Way or Another's on here, Picture This, Sunday Girl and Heart of Glass, are all great songs. So yeah, this is a fantastic album. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the custom in his sleeve, but this is a original on, I think it's Chrysalis Records. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, this is a fantastic album. Listened to this about 3 times, so I really love it a lot. So yeah, very glad I managed to pick this one up. I was nearly done in that shop. I picked up those 3 albums, and my granddad spotted there's a box on the floor. I got a record collection what had just come in, and the first record in the box was this one here, the Style Council, or the Singular Adventures of the Style Council. This is the greatest hits, and I just had to get this. I mean, this is for me, Style Council, you only really need the hits, and this is all of the great songs in here. So this is a pretty good this on them, and this was dead cheap as well. So I could just it was just luck that this was the first record, and again this box would have just come in, because if this was behind him, wouldn't have looked to find this, and I'd never seen this before either. So it's pretty cool just to come across it. So yeah, fantastic compilation, lots of great songs here. I mean, like, you've got like all like the classics, Never Changing Moods, Long Hot Summer, Shout to the Top, Speak Like a Child, Solid Bond, In Your Heart. Just classic hit after classic hit. So great 80s stuff here from Style Council. Next ones here were ones that I actually bought on Record Store Day, but not like, they're not like Record Store Day like exclusive, like they're just ones, but like ones like various like other shops on like the day. So first one here we got was Police Ghost in the Machine album. I played this and like I enjoyed it for the most part. I liked most of the sides. One like actually like Spirits in the Material World, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, and Invisible Sun. I believe those were like the 3 most popular ones like on this album. Loved like all of those ones. And I think to like Demolition Man, the closing wall, like I think I like that one. I could be wrong there, but yeah, this is sort of 1981. This album came out, and like so like I'm almost complete like on the Police. I only need, I think it's 2 more like off their albums. The first one, and like I think it's their third one, the one with Don't Stand So Close to Me on it. So yeah, like I'm not the biggest Police fan, but like the records are cheap and like easy to collect. So like I'm like glad I've got this one to add to my collection. Next one here now is a Who album, what I've been letting from my collection. It is the album Odds and Sods. Basically it's just like sort of like, I think it's rare like recorded outtakes, like unreleased stuff from like the time. So like so yeah, I haven't heard like most of like this album. Like I'm not familiar with like most of the track list. The only song that I think I know on it is like Pure and Easy, which is on like which I supposed to be like on like Who's Next, but it wasn't in the end. So we have the inner sleeve here, and the record is just on Track Records, this one. And then we also get like a little insert as well, just a picture like of the band just on stage. Rather sort of like strange shaped like insert just sort of folded there, but yeah, it's a sort of like nice that you get a wee picture, nothing like on the back of it there though. So, right, so yeah, like I'm glad we've got this away, just like be interesting to listen to like some like these slightly less like familiar songs to me. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Another great find now, this was I think this was £10 actually, which I thought was pretty good. It is David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars album. Fantastic album, and like yeah, like I could have got like the reissue. Like I was considering getting like the new reissue that came out this year, but I thought, I mean, like you might as well just get like the like sort of like original, or sort of like as close to like original. I believe it's 1980 pressing here, because we were on the blue RCA label and the green RCA label there. So fantastic album, lots of great songs there. Starman's on this album here, Ziggy Stardust of course, Suffragette City, Moon Age Daydream, a lot of fantastic stuff on here. So like yeah, I will definitely get into this album, because I loved Hunky Dory, by the way, so like I'm hopefully going to really love this album as well. Right, so now on to the stuff I bought online. These are all new vinyl. First one here is a Who album, and like I'm now complete like on like all the studio albums, because they have the Endless Wire here. And yeah, this is a bit like an inconsistent album. Like really only got this to get like absolutely complete on there. Like got like, all the official studio albums now on them. And like I think I played side C, which was like the Wire and Glass mini opera, and like I wasn't that impressed with it. There's a couple of like good wee bits, but like I wasn't like too blown away by it. But like I've not played like the actual main album, so like that might be like a different story. It's double album, but it's like not a gatefold, so you just got like the 2 like rather dull inner sleeves here, and I'll just show like one of the records now. It's just on black vinyl, and they're just off the Who Endless Wire. So yeah, 2006 this came out, and like one thing I didn't like was like the vocals, because like Pete Townsend sings like quite a bit like off like this album actually, or like the bit I heard of it, and like he like can't sing like that great like anymore. I mean, like he wasn't like the greatest singer like back in like sort of like the 60s, 70s, but here like his voice is just really short. And like, but Roger Daltrey can still like sing there like on like this album. So like, yeah, like it might grow on me, you never know. But like, glad I got this to complete my collection. And next one here, I really like this artist's latest album from 2015. I thought it was probably the best album from last year. So I thought that I would give like the album before a go, which is Paul Weller and Sonic Kicks here. The other reason why I got this one is because unlike the more modern classics album, you get about four songs like from this album like are on like that greatest hits compilation, and those are like among like 4 of like my favourite songs in it. So I thought that like this album would be pretty good, and like it is like pretty good, but like it's like maybe like a bit of filler on here. It is like experimental and like quite different from like what I've done before. So like there are like some like experiments like what like work on it, and like some what unfortunately don't basically. But yeah, there are some great songs there. Probably my favourite is like The Attic. I love that song, and that Dangerous Age is great as well. When Your Garden's Overgrown, and I think it was Paper Chase I really liked as well. Just quickly show the record here. So we have nice like a sleeve there, and the lyrics, and the record label here. Really cool like record label to this one here. So yeah, a pretty good album. Probably like one of his like more like easier to get solo albums. This was 2011 this came out. But like certainly like I say, it's not as good as like his latest one, Saturn's Pattern, which I think was absolutely fantastic album. I think you also get like a little insert here with just some writing on it. So yeah, like overall enjoyed this. Quite different sounding, like quite like sort of like contemporary modern sounding album. But yeah, like it was pretty good. So yeah, Paul Weller, Sonic Kicks. The next two here are both Beatles reissues. Now, like I've been meaning to get these for quite a while now, like probably like over like a year. It's like the mono vinyl reissues, but like come out in 2014. Like I've already got 4 of like the Beatles albums like in like mono vinyl, but like these two here, like what I got are like 2 slightly more like rarer ones, that like original like mono copies are like still pretty hard to get. Like anyway, it is. I got Revolver here, 2014 mono remaster. So yeah, fantastic like reproduction. Certainly like if like I was to start like my record collection again, I would have probably forgotten about the Beatles stereo vinyl box set here and just got like the mono box, because these sound incredible and these are like perfect like reproductions like off the original albums, and like the sound on these is fantastic. It's also like these came from like analog sources like, rather than digital, so these sound great. And like yeah, so like I'm glad I got Revolver on like in mono vinyl. And like the other one I got here was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now I can't show you like the gatefold to this one here because I've kept it like in like the shrink wrap, but you've all seen that like a million times. Again, this just comes with like the inserts here. We've got like the classic sort of cutouts and like the inner sleeve, and I don't actually keep like the record to this one in here because it's very tight. Like even like these inserts back in is like a bit of like a challenge. So I'm just keep like the record in like the back of like this sleeve here. And so yeah, it's great to have like Sgt. Pepper's like a mono because it sounds quite different to like the stereo mix, and like I probably prefer like the Beatles like mono mixes right up like to this album, and like include like Magical Mystery Tour and like possibly even the White Album. I think that sounds great in mono. That will probably be like my next one to try and find like a 2014 mono copy of that, because even now like these are getting like more and more tricky to get. Like I had to get this one from like I had to buy this one in from like the Netherlands I think, and like I just looked, this was like on Amazon for like a decent price. I believe it's shut up again, so yeah, like I'll try and like get like as like many off like these mono reissues like as I can, because these are absolutely great pressings. So now finally onto the Record Store Day fans. So this has been like the first year where I've actually gone along to Record Store Day, and like there were like a couple of like good things that go on like the list this year. Like there was like Tom Petty and the Kinks, Idol Race. There was a lot of like pretty good stuff. Well, like I was like eager to get like copies of. So like actually I went along to like, the store. So like the main thing what like I was going for in like the store was this one here, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Kiss My Amps Live Volume 2. I've not got Volume 1 yet. I believe that was last year's Record Store Day. And like those are like now like very hard to get as well. So this is just a live album. Does some fantastic stuff on here. So it's like slightly more like deeper cuts. So stuff like Love Is a Long Road, Two Gunslingers, Tweeter and the Monkey Man, A Woman in Love. So a lot, sort of like great, slightly lesser heard of like Heartbreakers tracks. Couple of like great covers as well. This isn't on like colour vinyl like or anything, but it's just a really great sounding pressing as well. So like so yeah, I couldn't be like more happy with this. The shop had like loads of copies of this, so like I'm not sure like how like limited this was, but like they must have had like at least about 10 copies like in like the store where I went. So yeah, like I definitely like like if like you can like try and get this album because it was fantastic. And like the other thing what like actually got like on the day was a Kinks album. Like I was actually like looking for like the Kinks EPs what had come out for the extra day, sort of like this one here, just sort of like a 4-track EP. I believe there's one on like I believe like there was a Kinks one and like a Dave Davies hits one. But like in like my store they were asking £20 for one of these wee like EPs. This is one that James Lobbin sent over from like last year's record store day, and like these were priced at $12.99 like $12.99, which roughly equates to £8. So if like they were that price in like my store, like I would have like just bought them, but like £20 for this, I'm not paying that. So I thought it would be better value for money to actually get like a 12-inch album for that price. And like they had a Kinks record store day issue album what I knew nothing about. It was called The Kinks in Concert 1965. So I brought it home and played it, and it sounded horrible. It like seems to be taken from like sort of like television broadcasts from like sort of like the early 60s, 65, 64. And like it just didn't sound too great, and like I'd done like a bit like research like afterwards, and like it was actually like a bootleg release because it being 65, 50 years, the copyright is like no longer like on those recordings, so anyone could just like go out and like release and make money on them, and like it just sounded horrible. So so like in like the end, like I decided to sell that. Like I was never gonna play it again. So like I sold it, and like for like face value, like I didn't make like a profit on it, but like I really didn't need it. Like it would just be like wasted like a space like on like my shelf, to be honest with you. And like the other thing what I wanted from like Record Store Day was the Idle Race album. Of course, like an early group from Jeff Lynne. Now, like me and James Lobbin were talking, I think it was the Wednesday before Record Store Day, and like he was making the point that like different like eBay sellers already like a couple of days before Record Store Day were actually listing the like exclusive releases. And so like I like looked and like actually found this one here from a seller in Italy. He was wanting, I think it was €28 for this album, which is about £17 plus like €11 postage, which is about £6. This came to £25. Yeah, like I had to like wait like a little bit, like hence like the delay in like getting like this video out there. But in like the store they wanted £30 for this, so like in at the end like I got a good deal. Like yeah, maybe it's not in like the model or like the spirit like of like Record Store Day, just buying this like online. But like I'm so chuffed like I've got it. It's like a fantastic album actually. Much prefer this to like the first album. This is a lot more like sort of like conventional rock. You can certainly like hear like the Beatles like influence like on this. And the vinyl to this is absolutely stunning here. I'll just quickly show it to you now. Just look at that. This is my first splatter vinyl, and isn't it pretty? It's just absolutely amazing. And like it still sounds great as well. So I'm absolutely chuffed to get like this album finally. Been out of print for like so many years, and like original copies of this still go for like huge sums of money. I believe that there's one on eBay for about £150, so just absurd prices. So it's great that like they did like get around to like issuing this for Record Store Day, and like I'm like yes, great addition to like the Jeff Lynne and ELO collection. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this quick vinyl update. Like I will be back hopefully soon for like a couple more like album reviews and like stuff. Like if you want to see like any of the albums what I've shown in this video reviewed, please leave them down below in the comments. Like, and like I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.